Hello again and welcome to BUS591 Lecture 4, Corporate Risk and Crime. And this is what I'm going to talk about today, having done 3 lectures, and we're going to see how the different aspects of corporate risk and crime affect the corporation itself. And we've had lots of examples of this, and over the time I've given you the different flavours. So again, we're meeting in B118 between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Look at my lecture, notes that are on Moodle already, and then come prepared for a 10 o'clock start so we can get together with different tutorials, different ethics, and we'll look at different perspectives. And we've had some fun of how we're looking at the different parts of what we're doing. So that's going to work for us, and we'll be focused on the techniques of crime and how we can control and limit them, and hopefully eliminate them. Not only eliminate them, but eliminate them. So we're going to look at that and talk about it and say, fine, we are here and we're going to put in place techniques that could work or don't work. And you can see some, and there's a great talk that if you give people enough rope, they'll hang themselves. But we don't want to get into that at this scare. I just want to be aware of the importance of the strategy and the different things that could happen in the terms of risk and compliance, and where the risk is transferred to a crime and the things that are done to reduce those risks. So we're going to control and look at it from that perspective today. Now, something again, if you don't understand, please come early next week, or ring me on my mobile, or send me an email, or go on to team chats as we did in lecture 1. Now we're looking at the boards of directors, and we're going to look at the top-down approach, whereby they have the key to the factory floor. And if they translate everything down, everything should work. But in the event of the top 4 directors or the top strategy doing something different, it becomes very, very difficult. Now, who pays the bills? Now, if there's not enough money in the company to start with, it becomes very difficult. So you push the creditors back and you try and squeeze the debtors. Now, if you do anything and destroy things or you hide things, you could go to jail, because it could be money laundering or trillions of different things going on. And with international trade now, bitcoins, things of that nature, it's becoming very, very difficult. And absolutely the law is chasing, and it's critical that we know exactly what is going on in our organisation, who is taking the money and who is taking shortcuts, and who is not playing fair, and who is not being accountable or transparent. And if it doesn't work, well then the pension funds lose money, or the shareholders lose money, or the company loses itself, and the people lose their jobs. And that's an even bigger outcry. So there are regulations and rules, and they are being tightened all the time, because crime, fraud and white-collar crimes is moving very quickly because of the internet and because of the ways things is going on in business, and it's becoming a global world. So people are making more risk to make more money, more money, more money. Everybody wants to make more money. Greed is back on the agenda. But now, hopefully after the pandemic, people are beginning to say, well, hold on, maybe there is a community kind of atmosphere that we should be tolerant of. Maybe social capitalism should come back. Maybe communism has gone all the way and that has ended. Maybe capitalism has gone all the way and that has ended. And we have to find a middle ground. Because one thing that we hope COVID did was to make everybody equitable in their way and their lifestyle. I know it hasn't happened, because half the world is still hungry and half the world hasn't had the jab. But we can identify the risks and the desk work that can go on, and how to analyse the way forward if in fact it will work. And that's what corporate risk is about, and what the fundamentals are of making corporations accountable to the rules and the regulations. And we can do the areas of SWOT analysis, we can do different areas of the food industry I can go through with you. I will look at a close look at some of the other industries that I've worked in, and again we will show you how we can control them. And you may control them if you're working in a pub, and if somebody brings an optic in or a till for a Friday, takes the till out, it's very difficult to control what has been going on. So we can look at that and say, fine, let's listen to that, and we'll talk about that as we do at the seminars and also on the one-to-one meetings we're going to be having in room 118. So what we're doing now is saying how we respond to the system, how we can put a system in, how we discuss it and make sure that everybody in the company knows the rules and regulations, and how far we're prepared to go, and how much flexibility we are prepared to give people, and how much indecision there is, and how much decision there has to be, and how much we can make people accountable or not accountable. Because when you're running a big multinational company or a large organisation, you can't have people ringing up, telling tales. It doesn't work. So we need to look at that and the space for the lectures, and we need to say, fine, we're going to talk about the wider perspective, and we'll bring in examples of all the different places we work, all the careers you're going to follow, and how you can stay the right side of the crime in terms of the risk and risk assessment. And when we finish lecture 5 next week, we will go on to listen to what Neil has to say about crime and the civil crimes. So we're going to look at it again and say where are the losers and where are the winners. And out of every collapse, there's almost a phoenix coming out. A new company comes up, a new idea. Who's replacing the high street? Where are the new shops coming? Is it all online? Will we get bored with online? Do people supply online? Or once you've lost your money, your credit card, or you're giving your details, we need to look at that and say, fine, let's have some controls. Let's limit the exposure of the company, and let us see where we're going to do and how we're going to make the company profitable, and how we're going to make it even more sustainable and one to be proud of, and make it the best company to work for, where we're not concerned about will we be here next year, will we be arrested, will we be closed down, will we be fined, so on and so forth. So I look forward to seeing you at the session we're going to have at 9 to 12 o'clock on Monday, room B118 in the lecture theatre, and we can take it further. So look at these introductory notes I've just given you now, and also look at the lectures which are already posted on Moodle, so we're up and running. Again, if you're struggling with timing or information or understanding, please get in touch with me, because we're here and we're going to get you through this, and we're going to get the assessment signed off, and also we're all going to get it to the extent that we want it to be a finished project. Look forward to seeing you next week. Take care, have a good week, bye.